Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily energy read. Today is going to be a classic reading and I will start by pulling a card for each of the twin collectives from the Beyond the Lemuria deck, and then we'll go straight into tarot. Hope you guys are having a great start of the week. I know I'm excited because I'm going on a trip tomorrow. I hope that the readings are still gonna continue. We'll see how it goes. I'm planning to pre-record a couple of them and then I will record a couple from my vacation as well. So we'll bring a few decks, not too much, and I'd like to stay as much as possible off the grid. So if you're thinking about booking a personal reading, just keep that in mind that this week I'll have limited time slots. Next week I'll have much better availability. With all that said, please remember to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and let's see what happens with the twins at this time. Yesterday we had the powerful 2-2 portal and I did a reading dedicated to that, so if you missed it, please check it out because we're still in that vibration. I actually like that I mentioned that because today we're gonna continue exploring that energy because it's still very, very strong. Not to mention a few of the transits, some planets going direct, some planets still in retrograde. There's a lot going on. Not to bore you with the details, but yeah, let's see what happens. And look at that, the Feminine's got card number 18, which is the alignment card. So alignment right now is very important. It also reminds me a bit of the Kundalini flow here. Plus, it's got colors of the chakras. If you see a little bit closer, it's got 7 main chakras represented here. Let's get a divination message for this card. Why not? Look at where your desires and manifestations are being seeded. If your plans and dreams aren't unfolding as you would like them to, it's time to take a deeper look at other areas in your life. Is something out of step with integrity? Are you making decisions through fear or love? If it is through fear or avoidance, your manifestations may seemingly backfire to encourage experiences that will bring you back into balance. It is time to become a vibrational match for what you're seeking. Instead of striving harder for something, cultivate the feeling of already having all that you seek. You will be surprised at what the shift in perspective creates. Yeah, it is very powerful. I'm actually rereading The Atomic Habits right now, and there's so much in that book about embodying the identity of someone you want to be. So it's not even what you want to bring, but if that's what your vision is about who you'd like to be with or what you'd like to bring in, then at least ask the next question, like what kind of life would I be living in that space when I have that something or I am with that someone, right? And describe it as part of manifestation journey as the new identity of who you are. What do you do? You know, what hobbies do you have? What do you like doing? How do you spend your time? Things like that. Because that will be so much more, first of all, believable for a brain, and second of all, because it kind of completes the picture and it becomes a lot more realistic of how that something or someone that you're bringing in is going to fit into your entire life. And also in terms of what we're sending to the universe, it also, the vibration becomes so much more in alignment, hence the alignment card. Okay, let's move on. Didn't want this to be too long, but you know what, I did a really short reading yesterday, so now it's like these downloads they are asking to get out. For masculines, we have third eye chakra, the pineal perspective, and there is a little sigil here in the corner that if you're interested in doing a little ritual, you can take a picture of that. And the ritual that the author suggests is to draw the sigil with your finger in the air 3 times. And then imagine that the energy is kind of like showering you from the top down. And in this case, because we're talking about third eye chakra, there's like indigo blue color. And you can imagine that the shower, the energy is of that color. So that would be the ritual if you'd like to do that. But yeah, anything that you have, obviously third eye is all about intuition. It's about seeing with your heart. It's about reading the situation rather than thinking it, right? So it's also alignment to a big degree, to be honest with you, right? But what do you do? Like, this is an invitation to work with your third eye chakra, right? To pay more attention, to activate it. Maybe work with crystals that are good for third eye chakra. Always essential oils, you know. And again, here we would have, each of us would have different practices or preferences of how we'd like to work with it. We can even, of course, work through affirmation, through prayer, talking to your guides and asking them questions to bring you clarity. Like, all this works as long as you're actually consciously paying attention to this. Okay, for the main read, I picked the Souls on Fire deck. This is like this pretty pink deck that's all drawn. So let's see what we have today. Bottom of the deck, the Magician. Yeah. So the Magician basically is the energy of manifestation master, right? And that's why we talk so much about manifestation and bringing in what we desire. It's like, okay, you've been exploring and kind of like just wandering around for a while. Good for you. Now, next step, hopefully you understood what is it that you want. What kind of life do you want? What kind of person you want to be, right? Even if you're not fully there. But now it's time to embody that picture, right? To live in that energy. And you can do exercises every day for like 5 minutes. I gave you the dream day exercise on Saturday, so 2 readings ago. So you can do that one. It doesn't take a lot of time, really. You can do it for a few minutes, and you don't have to write every time. You can just imagine. Once you already have that description, that storyline, then you can imagine that. You can almost like smell it, hear the sounds, the voices, all that stuff. And that will really help. Okay, let me get some clarifiers and we'll start. We're only getting started. It's 7 minutes in. No, I'm joking. Every part of the reading is important, for sure. And remember that these are collective readings, so take only what resonates for you. And maybe the part that resonated for you was at the beginning of the reading, for like the oracle message, or even before the oracle message, right? And that's fine too. Temperance. Yeah, stay patient and explore. Both of these are major arcanas, by the way, which says to me that we are being guided. It's just about like listening in and following that guidance, right? The choice, of course, is yours. At the end of the day, we have free will, so it's up to you to decide whether you want to follow it or not. Speaking of which, feminines, you've got 8 of Swords clarified by Page of Cups. So some kind of message of love is coming into your life. We are approaching Valentine's Day, so why not? Somebody has, is sweet on you, and, they want to share a message. They want to do something nice for you, maybe, to kind of like start from the distance and kind of like explore if you're open to something. And you are all in your head here, just kind of defensive and thinking, well, I don't have time for this, or I'm sure this person needs something from me, just a matter of time until they're going to pronounce it out loud or something along those lines. So I'm not saying it's not true, but this energy is not helpful, because it's almost like if you were, let's say, we're just talking about that manifestation exercise and your future identity, your happy life. Imagine that you're doing an exercise of that kind where you're imagining the happy life and you're someone else, with the divine masculine, and you have this life full of love and all that stuff. And then so you get yourself into that high vibrational space while you're doing it, and then you walk away from that exercise and suddenly you're in the 8 of Swords defensive energy. Like, that will create confusion in the energy field. And that, by the way, is usually what causes disbalance in the chakras as well, right? Like, you were, one moment you were in this space and thinking, this is where I am, and then walking away to something completely different. So just for that sake, for your own sake, don't think the worst, and just don't think too hard on it. I'm getting this message that some of you are just too serious about it, like this is like a question of life and death, but it isn't. It's just a page of cups. It's a message of love. Take it for what it is, you know. Sometimes there is no hidden meaning. Enjoy it. Or if whatever that message was not good for you, then you know you can share that feedback as well, instead of struggling in silence and not wanting to hurt someone's feelings. You can say, no, this is a little too much for me, or you're a little too forward, or like it's too early to be doing this kind of thing, right? So this is nice and I appreciate it, but let's take it slow, or something of that kind. Or like, you know, I don't have this kind of feelings for you, but don't internalize it, because it's only going to be eating you away. Masculines, you've got Justice, clarified by Page of Swords, another page. So masculines also have some kind of communication in their life. It could be coming from the feminine, it could be coming from someone else in their life, but they're getting some important insight that helps them understand why they've been struggling so much in certain area of their life, wherever that conversation is happening. Because they start understanding that they haven't even been on the same page with the other person, whether it's at work or with a friend or with the feminine, with a parent, doesn't matter, right? It's like now it's getting to them. Okay, so all this time I thought I was doing well, or you know, at least like I was struggling, but I thought like I knew exactly what I'm supposed to do. I just struggled with a technique, so to speak. But actually I didn't realize that I didn't have it right in terms of understanding where the other person is and what are we even doing here, right? So now it's like clarity is coming in. Additional question for today is 10 of Wands, clarified by the World. So twins are putting an end to some kind of unhealthy cycle, something that doesn't bring any benefits. It's like I'm trying to remember what would be the English name of that myth from ancient Greece. The Sisyphus, who was like rolling the rock up the mountain every day, and then at the end of the day the rock would be falling down, and then he will start again the next day. So it's called this Sisyphus labor, where it's like it doesn't really make sense. It's kind of like you're only wasting your energy on it, right? So this is the twins understanding that they've been wasting their energy for like nothing, you know. It doesn't bring benefits really anyone if you think about it that way. But it's a big cycle to close, because it's been very familiar for a long time, or maybe it's driven by society that says that you're supposed to do this, right? But it is a big one. So let's see, what does it mean for the feminines? The High Priestess, clarified by another Eight of Swords. Wow, you really are in your head. So for the feminines, it's the doubt and the self-criticism around the whole concept of being a light worker, of being gifted with psychic gifts, with healing gifts, you know, whatever you are, however you've discovered yourself so far, or however you see that identity in the future, right? And immediately thinking, oh my God, this is gonna be so bad. Like my mom will stop talking to me, my significant other will break up with me because they'll think that I'm crazy and stuff like that. You know, I'm just making it up, but you get the point. There is something there that's really bothering you about how it will be presented to the world. And it's time to put those thoughts to bed, because they're keeping you behind. Masculines, you've got Seven of Cups, clarified by Knight of Cups. Ooh, lots of cups. And we've got into the Knight category from Page. That's good. So for masculines, it's always thinking, what is the best way? How do I position myself in the best light? That I am the smartest, the strongest, the loveliest, the cutest, the kindest, right? Like there is that ego space where it's like, I'm gonna think about it first, I'm gonna strategize, and then I'll see, or maybe I'll wait for the right moment when I feel the strongest, or the other person is the weakest, and then me showing up in my shining armor is gonna save the day, and that's really what I want, right? Like again, over strategizing things, right? Or, you know, trying to complicate the situation that way. Playing with emotions, I'm hearing the message, right? And I've seen it a lot, actually, a lot of examples of that recently in people who I know have good intentions. So it's not, again, it's not the words of criticism. We do it instinctively if we are not conscious, if we're not mindful about our behavior. And men tend to do it more than women because they are driven by that machismo display of like being the coolest and the best and the strongest, right? So it drives them into that spot where like they're playing this game where they want to appear even smarter, stronger, brighter, kinder than they actually are or than they think of themselves, right? That's the point. So yeah, time to quit that, divine masculines. How are the feminine seeing the connection? Three of Wands clarified by Ace of Swords. So feminine is setting the intention for seeing clarity of what is the truth here of the matter. Like, what are we supposed to be? Like, or what is the dynamic right now? How am I supposed to read it? Asking for a sign of what comes next, but like wanting to do it properly. Not, again, without playing games, just honestly, authentically, the way it's supposed to be. How the masculine seen the connection? Seven of Pentacles clarified by Eight of Wands. Masculines definitely, again, thinking of what they're gonna say the next time. How do they want to express themselves? You know, what kind of move they want to make in this connection. And that to me is part of the stuff that they're actually putting to bed, or they're supposed to. Like at some point, they will drive themselves into the wall with this planning. And it'd be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go and do it, right? Especially maybe they're planning for the Valentine's Day and like to prepare some kind of special surprise. And then it's like, whatever, I'm just getting this picture where some masculines are like really working things out and like making arrangements, and it just wouldn't work out. Like parts of their plan are just like falling out, and it's like, ugh. And then at the end, the masculine just says, I'm just gonna go and do it. You know, it's not gonna be perfect. Maybe I'm not gonna be Prince Charming and all this, or princess, take the gender how it resonates, but you know, that's really not the point. And that's the understanding that needs to be brought in, that a lot of times the most authentic and innocent moments are when full of love, are when we don't really plan, that we act and we improvise. Okay, I think I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all. Hopefully I'll keep the readings coming this week. If not, then let me have a couple of days of a break. That just means I'm catching up with a friend and having some good time in Florida. If you want to follow my adventures, follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm going to be posting everything in stories. And other than that, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I love you all, and until next time, bye.